In 2009, a small research team inside a private neurological laboratory began a controversial experiment. Their objective was simple, but deeply unsettling. They wanted to answer a question humanity had asked for thousands of years. What happens to consciousness after death? Most scientists believe that when the heart stops, the brain shuts down within minutes. Neurons lose oxygen, electrical activity fades, and whatever we call awareness disappears forever. But this team believed something different. They theorized that the brain might still produce signals after clinical death, signals that simply go undetected. So they designed an experiment, not to keep a person alive, but to keep their brain conscious after death. A volunteer was eventually selected. He was a man in his late 30s, suffering from a terminal illness. According to the medical files, he understood the risks completely. In exchange for funding his family's future, he agreed to participate. The procedure required connecting his brain to an advanced neural interface, a machine capable of translating raw electrical brain signals into readable patterns. If the brain produced anything resembling language, the computer would attempt to convert it into words. The plan was disturbing in its simplicity. Doctors would inject a compound designed to stop the heart instantly, while a second compound slowed the brain's deterioration. The body would die, but the brain might remain active for a short time. The experiment began at 2:14 in the morning. The volunteer was calm. According to the lab recordings, his final words were simple. He looked at the researchers and asked, "Will you tell me if something is there?" No one answered. At 2:16 a.m., the compound was injected. Within seconds, the heart monitor flatlined. The man was clinically dead. But something unexpected happened. Instead of fading, the brain activity increased. At first, the researchers assumed it was a malfunction, but the readings kept climbing. Electrical patterns surged across the screen, stronger than anything normally recorded in a living brain. One of the technicians activated the translation system. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then a single word appeared on the monitor. "Hello?" The room went completely silent. The volunteer was dead, yet somehow the machine was receiving structured signals from his brain. Minutes passed. Then another message appeared. "It's dark." The researchers stared at the screen. Someone whispered that the system must be interpreting random neural noise. But the messages continued. Slowly, one sentence at a time. "I can still think. I can hear something." The atmosphere inside the lab began to change. This wasn't random. The signals were forming clear language. The volunteer's brain was still producing conscious thought. 7 minutes after death, the next message appeared. "There's something here." The room filled with uneasy murmurs. One researcher suggested shutting the system down immediately. Another argued they were witnessing the most important discovery in human history. Meanwhile, the brain activity kept rising, higher and higher, far beyond normal levels. Then another message appeared. "It sees me." The technician translating the signals froze. No one spoke. Another line appeared seconds later. "It knows I'm alive." At that point, the lead scientist ordered the experiment terminated. They prepared to disconnect the neural interface. But before anyone could shut the machine down, 3 final messages appeared rapidly across the screen. "It's getting closer. Turn the machine off." And then, one last line. The words appeared slowly, as if something was struggling to form them. "Too late. Several researchers later claimed the brain activity suddenly spiked to a level the machines could barely measure. Then every monitor in the lab shut off at once. The room went dark. When the backup systems restored power a few minutes later, the volunteers' brain activity was finally gone, completely silent. The official report concluded the experiment was inconclusive. No evidence of post-mortem consciousness was ever acknowledged. But one technician later claimed the translation computer stored one final message in its internal memory, a message that appeared after the machines restarted. The file was never included in the report. According to the technician, the message contained only 4 words. 4 words that were never explained. I found the way back.